Welcome to this explainer. Take a deep breath and listen very closely. We need to have a serious conversation about your future. And more importantly, we need to talk about protecting your wealth. You might think you're doing everything right by just setting money aside for your future. But what if I told you that the very act of saving is secretly destroying your financial security? Today, we're exposing the silent wealth killer that's tracking your money from 2026 to 2030.
Here's the harsh reality. Your bank account is lying to you. If you're saving exactly $1,000 today for a goal in 2030, you are already losing money. Just let that sink in for a second. While you think you're securely stashing away $1,000, inflation is quietly pocketing over $100 of your hard-earned cash right under your nose. By 2030, that $1,000 sitting in your standard savings account, it's only going to buy you about $885 worth of actual stuff. So today, we're going to look at exactly why your savings plan is fundamentally broken and precisely how we're going to fix it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Nominal versus real value.
To survive the financial landscape of the next 4 years, we first have to break down a critical concept that really separates the wealthy from everyone else. We have to understand the difference between nominal value and real purchasing power. Nominal value is simply the number printed on your dollar bills. If you put 10 $100 bills in a shoebox today in 2026 and you open that box in 2030, the nominal value is still exactly $1,000. It looks exactly the same. But real purchasing power? Now that is what those dollars can actually buy out in the real world. And honestly, that is the only metric that truly matters.
Think of it like a VIP ticket to your absolute favorite 3-day music festival. Today, in 2026, you check the website and that ticket costs exactly $1,000. So you start saving. But year after year, because of the Consumer Price Index, which is a measure of the rising cost of everyday life, the prices creep up. The cost of labor, staging, basically the cost of everything involved goes up. If you leave your $1,000 in a standard, low-interest bank account, the calendar turns to 2030. You go to buy that exact same ticket, but the price has jumped to $1,129.89. You walk up to the virtual checkout counter, hand over your original $1,000, and
you are exactly $129.89 short. Almost $130 just vanished. Your nominal cash stayed exactly the same, but your real purchasing power was absolutely decimated.
Which brings us to Section 2. The 2030 inflation math.
So, how exactly does this silent robbery happen? Well, the math happens behind the curtain. We're currently in 2026, and your target goal year is 2030. That gives us exactly 4 years to prepare. Right now, the baseline consumer price index, or CPI, is projected at an inflation rate of 3.1% per year. Now, what's really interesting about this is, because saving for a festival ticket is a general lifestyle goal, we apply what's called a 1x category inflation multiplier. In plain terms, that just means the cost of your specific goal is rising at the exact same speed as headline inflation.
When we take that 3.1% inflation and we compound it over those 4 years, this is what the formula actually looks like. $1,000 multiplied by 1 plus the 3.1% interest rate to the power of 4 years. The math is absolute. That equation brings your real-world cost in 2030 to $1,129.89.
If you only save that original $1,000, you are mathematically setting yourself up to fail by that exact shortfall. That difference is what we call the inflation gap. And as the saying goes, if you aren't adjusting your monthly budget to account for this gap, you are aiming for a target that has already moved.
Let's move to Section 3, the inflation-proof budget. Listen, we are not going to be victims of this math. We are going to take command of it. To hit your real-world target of $1,129.89 by 2030, we must structure a budget that explicitly anticipates and defeats CPI erosion. Assuming a 48-month savings horizon, your base goal contribution to reach the nominal $1,000 is $20.83 a month. But look at the inflation buffer. It's only $2.71. So the crucial point is that tiny, seemingly insignificant amount explicitly offsets the 3.1% annual price increases. By combining them to a total adjusted monthly target of $23.54, you completely neutralize the threat. It guarantees you can actually afford the goal in 2030.
Implementation is simple. Step 1. Automate the buffer. Change your automatic transfer to save that $23.54 per month instead of the nominal $20.
Just set it and forget it. Step 2. Create an inflation buffer account. Keep this buffer in a separate visual category in your budgeting app. That way, when you log in, you'll see exactly what money is dedicated entirely to protecting your purchasing power. It gives you absolute clarity and absolute control.
Finally, Section 4. How to beat inflation.
We've patched the leak in the budget, but there's one final financial truth that traditional banks go to great lengths to hide from everyday savers like you. Traditional saving is a guaranteed loss. If you hoard your cash in a standard savings account earning a pathetic 0.01% interest, you are voluntarily letting the consumer price index erode your wealth. You're waking up, going to work, and trading your precious time for money only to let inflation melt it away while you sleep. To win this game, you must ensure your money is growing faster than 3.1% per year.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real solution: deployment. Instead of letting your inflation buffer sit idle in a dead bank account, you need to deploy your savings into assets that actively outpace the CPI. Look at high-yield savings accounts yielding over 4%. Look at treasury bills. Look at broad market index funds. You must stop hoarding cash and start acquiring assets that defend your purchasing power on the front lines.
It's time to stop letting inflation quietly steal the future you're working so hard to build. Take control of the math. Protect your purchasing power. So, what financial goal are you tracking for 2030? Think about it. Make sure you adjust for the inflation gap starting today, and let's build an inflation-proof future together.